What is up? What is up? Happy Valentine's Day. It's your boy Ivory.
Your boy Demi Parker. Happy V-Day, everybody. All the lovers and the people that's not with anybody right now.
Well, if you're tuned in with us, that means you're not booed up with somebody else. So we're going to have some fun conversation. Let's get a few minutes for a few people to pop in here, but hopefully y'all are doing good. Hopefully everybody's feeling good. Some of us are looking good. My boy Demi's looking fresh over here. I myself am at caveman status and in need of a haircut.
I need my braids redone.
I wanted to look good for the day today, but of course I procrastinated and waited till today to book a haircut appointment, and my barber's not working because, he probably planned ahead.
Confession, I forgot about Valentine's Day, moving day.
Hey, Lexi.
Oh, yeah, congratulations on the move. We want to talk about some fun stuff today, like the Super Bowl. I think everybody was kind of surprised. Myself, I was very pleasantly surprised. What'd you think?
I wasn't surprised.
I loved it every second. I loved that it was an ass whooping from freaking start to finish. It was beautiful. And yes, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, Net Madness family, all the other amazing shows that are going right now, the network that's building, obviously the Pops for putting everything together. For those of you who join us, happy Valentine's Day. But yeah, that Super Bowl, man, that was brutal from start to finish. I don't think I've seen an ass whooping like that that I can remember in the longest time ever. And if you would have told me that Saquon was going to get shut down to like 2 yards of carry, but the Eagles were going to blow the Chiefs out, I'd have called you a liar and bet you some money. And I love the disconnect in generations on the halftime show. I think a lot of people who don't understand hip-hop didn't understand the intricacies that went into making that a pretty brilliant performance. But, that would be like a blind person walking in trying to see a cool light set. If you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. But that was a pretty fun trolling. I thought it was pretty dope. I liked the way it got set up. I was entertained by the show. I was entertained by the
halftime show. What do you think about the halftime show?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I thought Kendrick put on a great performance. Yeah. I thought it was great. But I understand the disconnect because for people who aren't familiar with the music or aren't familiar with how big this summer was with the Kendrick and Drake going back and forth, dropping, number one songs, and then Kendrick's song taking over the world, basically winning a Grammy, a West Coast California anthem. I mean, it was like Cali came back. People were freaking sea walking and bouncing lowriders down Sunset.
Serena was seat walking.
Yeah.
Which was crazy to even see that. But
Serena Williams is also Drake's ex, so super troll move there.
And she's from Compton. Don't forget about that.
I was disappointed that Saquon didn't have a great game. I was super disappointed that Jalen Hurts won the MVP. I feel like the defense collectively should have got the MVP. I don't know what you guys think, but Jalen Hurts winning the MVP was not the story of that Super Bowl. That was 100% Philly's defense was just on Mahomes' freaking head. That was a beatdown.
I got a question for you guys.
Question away.
I got a couple teams like Kansas City, like Minnesota, who all year their offensive line stood up to everybody. I got a couple of defensive lines, Detroit, Philadelphia, St. Louis, that didn't do good half the freaking season, but all of a sudden they're like superstars. Especially St. Louis. Didn't they lose not St. Louis, LA, the Rams. Didn't they lose like 7 games?
Well, what's crazy is every year seems like LA loses the first half of the season, then comes on super strong, and then they dominate towards the end. Their defense, even without Aaron Donald, was pretty crazy this year.
I'm looking at these guys suddenly getting 7, 8, 9 sacks in a game against offensive lines that didn't give up more than 4 sacks in any game all year.
Right.
How does this happen? How does this happen at the end where suddenly the defense is just overwhelming?
Come on. Philly's defense was pretty much number one in the league all season. I think they were number one in almost every major statistical category, if not second. So it's not like they just came on. Philly has a beast defense.
You're going to say Kansas City's offensive line wasn't the best in the league most of the season as well? What happened?
With the help of the referees, for sure.
Yeah. What happened?
But, Pops, I need to hear this laugh from you when I tell this part, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people miss this. Obviously, Kendrick's super funny trolling, but Tom Brady made a comment at the end of the game about how Travis Kelce, if he would have spent more focus on football and less focus on partying and being Taylor Swift's little girlfriend, that he probably would have won the Super Bowl. And Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey's brother, replied, if Tom Brady would have paid more attention to his wife and not so much attention to football, he probably wouldn't be watching her have sex with her personal trainer now. Whoa. I mean, that was brutal.
Come saw, right? Look, learn to balance your priorities, people. Learn to balance your priorities. That's all. If there was balance in Brady's life, he'd still be with Giselle. He'd still
I think people like that can't have balance. Look at Kanye West. I love Kanye, but so many of them. Like people with that much.
That dude got enough confidence to parade his old lady naked around on stage. I don't know.
Man, we were having a lot of conversation about that. It's crazy. Like, I get that they have a kink relationship or whatever, and that's great, but I feel like that's appropriate for certain scenarios. And when you're gonna be on public television with families watching TV, probably shouldn't. Don't make your girl walk around naked. I mean,
I'm just saying, have a little couth. Have a little.
Yeah, there's got to be some boundaries to it. And no kink shame, and I'm all for people doing what they want to do, but certain things should be behind closed doors.
Right. Look, I don't. Hey,
take her to a swingers club, take her somewhere, but don't take her out somewhere where there's people, families, and kids. It's just, it's not appropriate.
There's only a couple people in the world whose bedrooms I care about what's going on in there. That would be me and my significant others.
Oh, that's my name.
I don't care what's going on in anybody else's fucking bedroom. That's on y'all. Have fun. Just have fun, right?
Right. Exactly. We're all strange people. Be strange in private.
I'm definitely strange. I know I am.
It's funny though. I like that I can add the old guy opinion to you guys, to some of your topics on your show, but I'm gonna let you get back to it.
I appreciate your old guy opinion, because I'm at that stage in life where I'm starting to feel like the old guy, and having you around kind of reminds me that I'm still in the middle somewhere.
I remember
he's still somewhat young.
I
just keep him around so I can continue to feel good looking. It's more of a vain thing.
Oh, anyways, y'all want to do a poll?
See, I can remember when Tim was younger, and I knew he was going to reach this stage when he'd agree with me more than not.
I mean, life experience does a lot.
I'm telling you.
It's funny because, like, my son and some of my friends start to go through things with their significant others, and they want to come and sit down with me for advice. And I'm like, why the hell are you asking me? I'm 47 years old, and I don't have a freaking clue. I don't know 1% of the playbook yet. So you're asking the wrong person. I'm still out here winging it.
The whole thing is relationships are almost entirely reactionary.
Right.
Just be cool.
And it's hard because it doesn't matter if it's your best friend, your wife, your girlfriend, your brother, or your cousin. If you end up cooped up in the same space together, you're going to find ways to make each other mad and push each other's buttons and be petty and ridiculous and hate each other. You would think as you grow up, you'd get better at it, but you just get better at it. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's what I said. Just be cool. Most relationships, it's all reactionary. It's not so much the issue, it's how you reacted to the issue that leads to the next issue. Yeah, it's like, just be cool. Be cool, people.
That's how I felt about music when I was younger. When I would get online and look at people talking about me performing at a show or anywhere around the city, I would feel like I had to react to everything. And all of my older friends would always be like, dude, just stay off the internet. Please, just stay off the internet. Let them talk. As long as they're talking about you, it doesn't matter. And now at this age, I get it. But back then I was just way too fiery, way too like wanting to puff my chest up and be tough, all the time. And sorry, everybody. So
yeah, when I first started doing this, man, I defended myself on every platform, on every stage. Anybody had something bad to say about me, I defend myself. I went out. I
remember.
My friend Simon, he's like, "Hey, dude, you don't gotta go after every barking dog."
Right. Exactly.
I was like, well, now that you put it that way, most of them are just barking dogs. Let's get on with it. And, now it's a forward approach. Everything's...
But it only makes sense as you get older when you start listening.
Yeah. It's all a forward approach now.
But if you ever notice, the alphas in the pack aren't the ones barking.
What's that old driving saying? Anything that's behind me is of no concern to me.
Right.
I'm moving
Like,
forward.
yeah. Yeah. Looking in the rearview mirror, you're not going to see what's in front of you. So
There you go.
just got to learn how to grow and move forward. We get stuck in our little ruts. Speaking of little ruts, we'll get back to another topic I wanted to bring up, which was the MVPs. We talked about that a lot the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations to Josh Allen. I think it was well deserved.
I think we called that. I think I called that one, didn't I? Yes,
I called it too. And anybody who argues with me and says, well, Lamar had a better season, I'm not going to argue and say Lamar didn't have a great season. Lamar was phenomenal this season. The difference to me is outside of Josh Allen, can you name any playmakers on his offense? And in most cases, the answer is no. But if you it starts with Derrick Henry right away with the Ravens, makes a huge difference. Could you imagine if Josh Allen had that kind of a run game, or if he didn't lose his top receiver to the Texans, or had any type of weapons?
Yeah.
That man is phenomenal.
He was awesome, dude. And I called it. I was like, that. There's nobody that was like just picking their team up and carrying them on the shoulders.
Right, he literally would do that. He'll run through the line and carry 5 or 6 people if he needs to. But again, no shade to Lamar. Lamar was amazing this year.
So,
and the Bengals were horrible, but man, shout out to Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was phenomenal this year too. If they ever put a defense with that team, oh my God, they better watch out. The Steelers will be done in that division forever.
It's like, dude, give him a year or two more. Give him a little bit more seasoning, and dude's going to be beast.
I mean, just keep him from getting sacked so much and injured all the time. They need to invest in an offensive line.
Yeah,
they need to protect him because he's an amazing quarterback.
And I'm just going to say this to the dismay of many. Kevin, you didn't deserve the coach of the year, bro. That shit should have went to Dan Campbell. He beat you twice. He beat you badly the second time. You should not have got coach of the year, even though I'm a Vikings fan. No.
Isn't it crazy when you're able to say that? That's like being somebody who votes Republican. You can actually have a conversation and not agree with somebody.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. It's like, I love what he did with my team, but he was not coach of the year this year.
So as a Vikings fan, what would you prefer for next year at quarterback? You stick with Sam Darnold, or do you want the rookie?
Well, I don't know. We'll just have to see how JJ looks, or, how he looks in preseason. And, hey, he
because Sam Darnold folded at the end of the year. He was horrible.
Yeah, well, his offensive line folded, but he folded too. He couldn't get the ball out of his hand. There's like 10 times he could have thrown the ball away in them last 2 games and not taken a sack.
Right. And if I remember correctly, J.J. McCarthy was doing really, really well in preseason and until he got injured. Now he's had a year to just sit and learn the playbook, which I feel like most rookie quarterbacks should get and don't. I feel like they don't really train quarterbacks. They don't really train star players anymore. They just plug and play and stick them in. And there's no real development.
Boy, it was so off.
He is with the QB whisperer, so let's see what Kevin can do with a rookie.
Right.
Let's see what Kevin can do with the rookie. I won't mind either way. It's not like Sam blew everything. He might have cost himself about $10 million on that next contract with them last 2 games.
Somebody will pick him up, though. There'll be another team. If they go with J.J. McCarthy, there'll be another team that's hungry for a quarterback. There's always teams.
I wouldn't get rid of him either way. I'd keep them both.
Right. The NBA trade deadline, that's another topic we wanted to talk about, baby.
I would get out your way for that one. I would let you handle that.
I was so extremely disappointed with the trade deadline, with what the Suns did. There was so much talk about moving Bradley Beal, so much talk about another trade with Durant. And I don't want to see Durant leave. I feel like Kevin Durant has been everything the Suns went after. I feel like he's played up to his potential. He's still playing like he's in his prime. And the Bradley Beal and the Nurkic deals are really what screwed us over. And not being able to move Bradley Beal means now we're like stuck. Now we have to either move Booker or Durant, and I don't want to lose either one of those pieces. Nope. But the real whammy was Luka. I was paying attention so much to ESPN, NBA, like all the little rumor wire. I never heard of anything about Luka moving.
I was just thinking right now.
And I was just thinking, man, what karma? Because I don't know if you guys saw Anthony Davis got injured and is out for the season. in his second game with the Mavericks.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that's brutal. So you give up basically your best player for a great. I mean, take nothing away from Anthony Davis, but now he's out for the season again. The man is made out of glass, and you just gave up a 25-year-old who's been a 5-time first-team NBA player all 5 years of his career for a man made out of glass. And 2 games later, that motherfucker shattered, bro. Come on. That's karma. I think it's crazy that they tried to play it out like Luka was fat, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You see him in them Lakers jerseys, he looks just fine.
What thing about KD?
I love KD. I think KD has played up to his potential. I think he's everything.
I like KD.
Suns want to have.
Like, he a sucker.
Mm.
I'm gonna say why. Years ago, he was up with Russell and Harden 3 games, 3-1. And what happened?
Harden sold him.
No, anyways,
Harden sold him, bro. Harden
Anyway,
sold him.
they lost. But what did he do after that?
He went to Golden State.
If you can't
He
beat
went to
him,
Golden State.
if you can't beat him, join him. And when he did
Whoa.
that, I understood.
Time out. We got a flag on the play referee. This is coming from a LeBron fan.
All right. You guys are about to go into it. I'm getting out of here.
So, speaking of, if you can't beat him, join him.
What?
How about your boy LeBron? How many times has he switched up?
But no, them teams didn't beat him like.
What are you talking about? Cleveland was in the finals the year that he left for Miami. Cleveland was in a game 7 in the finals.
Right.
Then he went to Miami.
Because of what?
I mean, the same reason that KD left. You can't beat him, join him.
But Miami didn't beat Cleveland, though.
Doesn't even matter. The point is the same.
No.
You're either loyal to your team or you're not.
What matters is that Stephen Curry was the best shooter in the league.
Not was. Stephen Curry is the best shooter in the league.
And you were supposed to be the second best shooter in the league. And since you couldn't beat that shooter, you went to that team because they shut you down. Boy, that's some sucker shit.
I can understand why you feel that way.
Besides that, I love KD, but other than that, that's trash.
Yeah, but in relation to the Suns, that's the only part of KD that I care about. In relation to the Suns, I feel like we got what we paid for. He's been fantastic since he came in. I think where we lack at is that Booker, when we don't have KD, or if Booker and KD, or if KD and Beal are both hurt, Booker plays like Booker and takes over the game and goes crazy. But when KD and Beal are on the floor, I feel like they're always trying to defer to each other and nobody wants to take over the game, and that is what's hurting the Suns. I think that's what's killing us. And Wolf, I seen you say hi a hot minute ago. I meant to say hi back.
What's up, Wolf?
Just remembered.
Happy Valentine's Day.
See, there's 16 of you on there, man. Feel free to say hi. Tell us where you're at.
Talk to
us. Hi, Ben. We love to be back and forth with you guys.
Y'all, please don't
for everybody who's jumped in now, happy Valentine's Day. Sorry that you're not with somebody else right now, that you're with us, but hey.
Now,
let's have a good time.
Luka and LeBron.
I don't know if anybody saw the highlight of the first time that Luka caught the ball in the fast break and saw LeBron down court, and he smiled with that super cheesy smile. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was freaking hilarious. That had me cracking up.
You know why? He's a young GOAT playing with the GOAT, and he know that.
For sure.
And he know that.
What's crazy about the European players like Luka and like Jokic is that they are so unathletic and slow and absolutely dominant.
But crush you.
Crush you. Because anybody who says Jokic isn't in the top center discussion now, you're crazy.
Oh, he been in there.
Yeah, I mean,
he been in there.
I get it. There's Wilt, there's Shaq, there's Kareem, there's some great centers out there, but Jokic is in that conversation now. Olajuwon, in my opinion, Olajuwon is my favorite center of all time.
Wemby's gonna be the number 1.
Man, Wemby will probably be up there too.
If Wemby stay healthy and Tim Duncan stays training him, he wins. When Wemby get Tim Duncan comfortable in the NBA, boy, it's gonna be.
It's crazy because the Spurs don't get a whole lot of coverage, but when you watch highlights of Wembanyama and the way he moves with his body, it's freaking insane.
It's because they play like a real team.
And man, another big trade. Them getting De'Aaron Fox, that's going to be huge.
That's
going to be huge because he's a great passer. He's a great up-tempo player. I don't know what that says for Chris Paul. Chris Paul's probably going to have to.
He can leave.
Finally hit the bench and be a 6 man.
Chris Paul just fucking set up. He want to slow sit down, and
just like he did for us.
Oh no, come here, bro. Oh yeah, we already here.
And it's hard because statistically, Chris Paul is obviously like one of the greatest players of all time, one of the greatest point guards, point guard. But he plays a game that doesn't really apply to today's game.
He want a ring. That's why he rings. He need a ring.
Yeah, he's very unsuccessfully ring chasing.
He gonna have a ring, and I feel like he just chose the wrong teams at the wrong time.
What's going on, people? How we doing?
We got 17 people in here. Okay.
So, quick little promo. Diane Docs is still out. Is doing real good. Demi Parker, one word. Look it up on any platform. The new album Diane Docs is like funky, rock and roll, punk. Really, really cool vibes music. I think that if you want something different to listen to, out of the mainstream,
fresh.
take a listen. Independent artists, independent music is where it's at. And speaking of, my man here got a cool gift today. We were going to show you guys.
Oh yeah, man! I got blessed with a little guitar. Not big right now, but yeah, it's super nice. Got me an amp coming. Finna go crazy on it. Might give y'all a couple of tunes.
So he's gonna teach himself how to play the guitar. I'm sure some of you old heads that are in here have played the guitar before. I used to play the guitar. I was the best in 8th grade band, bro. I was a beast.
Oh, yeah. No, I played drums, but in like elementary, like high school. But my goal is to learn how to play the guitar to where I could just like do a cover for one of my songs.
I always wanted to play the guitar. I always thought the guitar was really dope. When I first started doing music beyond just like local freestyle battles, I had hooked up with a group called the Funk Junkies. They were real big, kind of like punk, skater, hip hop, rock group that was blowing up in Arizona. And they were on MTV, and they had invited me out to a couple of shows. And they had this 19-year-old guitarist. He was their lead guitarist. His name was Danny P. Rest in peace to Danny P. Super duper cool guy. But he used to do this thing. He would have his own solo where he would get up on a speaker like in front of the stage after they had called, obviously the women up to the front. And he would start playing riffs with his tongue in front of all these girls off the speaker, just going crazy. And I remember I would be backstage like, dude, you are the ugliest freaking guy in the world, but all of these girls want you because you were cheating, you cracked the code, you beat the Matrix. It was one of the coolest shit I ever saw. So I always envied like drummers and guitarists or people who could go crazy with an instrument, because as much as I want to say being an MC is being a musician, it's not. The only instrument that you're working is your voice, I guess.
That's a lie.
But it's not like playing, like people who can get up there and play piano or play guitar.
But what about,
and that's a different level of art.
What about Mariah Carey? Somebody who could change their vocals to make it sound like,
that's why I said your voice is your instrument.
That's a musician. So you can.
She's a singer. I'm talking about rappers. I'm talking about MCs. Yeah, you can change the inflection in your voice. You can put some energy into it, but it's not like somebody who can sit out there and rock out.
Doing.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but it's not like, bro.
I think any form of art that you're doing, like I feel like yeah.
Okay, so what would be more impressive? You're walking down Fremont Street in Vegas. You got a super tall drink in your hand, a couple cool shorties next to you, and you see a dude over here rapping.
That's debatable.
And on this side of you, you see Teddy Swim singing and playing the piano at the same time, going crazy.
Okay. Now, if they're playing drums or something with it, you know how they been Vegas, they got the little stools and stoops, and stuff. If they doing that and they snapping, going crazy, I would watch that.
Right, but I'm saying a singer and a musician to me are two different things. If you could play an instrument, like if you can learn how to play that and be crazy at it, that's different than just being somebody who
rap and put words together. Not just like every other rapper. If you can learn how to put words together and actually deliver it in a way that people.
Yeah. Of course. True. I'm not downgrading. I rap. I'm not going to downgrade what rapping is. I'm just saying that to me, a real musical artist are the people who can use their voice and play an instrument. Like you're literally splitting your talent into two amazing things.
Right.
And people who sing, like obviously Mariah Carey, somebody like that, or Teddy Swims, like I just said, you listen to them sing on a street corner, you're going to be totally enthralled with their voice and what they can do with it. But if they can sit there and do it with an instrument, yeah, I would. When he starts to get good, we're gonna have him play for you guys live.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
We'll see what he can do live.
We'll do it. Put me on Front Street, huh? Okay.
Yeah. We definitely want to put you on Front Street. Pops was just talking earlier about putting me on Front Street, challenging me to go on Killer Karen's show. So, Karen, if you're out there,
come and get him.
I'm coming for you. And I got funny comebacks, so I'm ready. I know what your game is, Karen. Pops, you want to set up the duel royale? I'm ready. I accept all challenges.
The duel royale.
The duel royale would be the.
You up with Dante, and you can book that show, all right?
Okay, tell Dante then.
Cool. I will hook you up with Dante, and you can book that.
Yeah, you let Dante know. Tell Killer Karen I'm ready for the challenge.
All right, brother.
And I promise I won't cry if she hurts my feelings. I'll just cut off the cast, like boom, out. Nah, actually came up as a like battle rap was my thing when I was younger, so I got some pretty thick skin. I grew up in the Bay Area, in an area where there was not a whole lot of melatonin, non-pigmented people like myself, non-melanated.
From the land of Caucasus.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of us. So at lunchtime, they used to like to make fun of the white kids and
Did they
cast
call you
actors.
Casper?
How did that feel?
Yeah, exactly. And we were super poor white kids. We were like the worst, like trailer trash, mullets and high waters.
So you should have fucking landed right there.
So making fun of us was like the thing to do, especially like lunches and recesses. So that's when I started rapping. I started just like getting into making fun of people back. So battle rap is my thing. Not that I'm going to rap to Karen, but I'm going to rap to Karen because my brain is just poetic and my comebacks are beautiful.
Is the battle rap will make you fall in love with music?
Hey, anytime you want to do a duet rap with the old white dude, let me know.
Talking about MC Search, right?
I'm talking about me.
Oh boy.
Stupid.
Hey, if the madness wants it, the madness can give it. Yeah, I used to love battle rap. I'll tell you guys a funny story. One of the biggest battles I did, so growing up, obviously I'm 47, so 90s hip hop is really like my genre. That's where I fell in love with rap. And there was an invitation I got to go to LA to perform at the Knitting Factory, which is on Sunset. And I had never performed in LA. And it was to open up for DJ Quick, who was one of my favorite artists when I was younger. So when I get out there, I'm with like two super, we'll just call them nerdy white guys, like very unurban white guys and myself. And we go into this club on Sunset, and it's probably the first time I performed in a club where 90% of the demographic was not white. So most of the time when we would go on tour, we go to places, a lot of hip hop crowds were like college kids, like nerdy people, people who attend concerts. When I did that show in LA, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We got like a dope ass crowd. Like the vibe is cool. So they start battling, and it was 8 rounds. So you had to get through like 8 people. Well, the other dude who was winning was like 6'10", looked like he'd probably been cripping since infancy, and was just scaring everybody. Like pretty much he was just making people stutter and stumble and not even be able to speak. So the whole time in my head, I'm like game planning, like this is who I got to get to. I'm trying to come up with something fresh. Because I'm from the generation where when you freestyle, you actually had to come off the top of the head. It wasn't like a pre-written battle. So I get to this dude, and he's on stage, and he's got this super smoking hot girl next to him, super curvy, like obviously his chick. And she's been hyping him up the whole time. So what I like to do in a battle, if I win a coin toss, is let the other person go first. So I can try to manipulate something that they said that got some attention from the crowd in reverse and get it back at them. Well, lucky for me, this dude made it super duper easy. So he gets up in front of me, tries to act all tough, and his whole rap is white boys this, white boys that, white boys don't scrap or bust gats, just white boys, white boys, white boys, like the whole time. And I'm just like, really? Like, this is it? This is all you got for me? Like, I've never heard this before. So the first thing I did, because like I said, he was trying to intimidate everybody, was I snatched the microphone out of him. Man, I was like, DJ, I don't even need a beat. Homeboy's talking all this white boy shit. Ask me how I know your girl like white boy dick. It was over. It was a one line, like boom, drop the mic. Like the crowd was so loud, it was just a rap. The DJ just, and that was one of my favorite moments in hip hop. So I'm glad I got to share that with you guys. And I got to open up for DJ Quick the next night, which was freaking amazing.
That's some funny shit right there.
I've heard that story a few times. So.
Yeah, I love it. Another funny one was in Phoenix, we used to have this series called Lyrical Assassins where they would do every 2 weeks was like a battle. And it was promoted by Power back then. So we were going to all these clubs and battling. And this is when I was like fresh on the scene and nobody really knew me. Well, I had ended up a battle in like 2 weeks prior against this guy whose name was What. And I had totally slaughtered him.
His name was What?
Yeah, so his name was What. I don't know why that was his name, but that was what he named himself, was What. So 2 weeks later, the next round is at this other place. It was a brand new club right down by the Suns Arena, right by Jackson's on 3rd. I can't remember the name of the club. But anyways, my very first round, I'm going against this dude, and the Lakers were in the playoffs against the Suns at the time. And he came in a full Kobe outfit with Lakers Converse, Lakers starter gear, like Laker warm-ups, right?
In Phoenix.
So again, like I said, we come right off the top in my era. So right off the bat, when I grabbed the mic, I was like, what? are you doing back in this bitch? I told you last week you couldn't handle my shit. Now Lakers outfit ain't gonna help you win no championship. It was over. It just dead. Right off the bat, he was like, "Oh my god." He was like, "Bro, I hate you. I hate you." And we just dapped up. I made a lot of friends that way too. You know, kind of like when you spar verbally with people. But I love that energy. So that's why I think it'll be fun. You know, like you said, you won that show with Karen. I like that back and forth. You know, I like that witty intellectual competition.
Yeah, I'm not going to give her no heads up either. I'm
okay,
not, I'm not
just sit to the wood. Hey, I like it off the top, man. Improv is the best. That's what I like about doing this show with you guys. Is that we come up with a couple of things that we want to talk about, but for the most part, we like just having like a free flowing conversation, especially when people pop into the chat, drop comments, interact. You know, it's fun to go back and forth. We got 18 people in here. Feel free to say what's up. Don't be shy. We can't even see you.
Y'all got something to say? This the ID show.
You can see us. I mean, I don't know if you can see him, but you can definitely see me.
Is that a black joke?
Never.
Oh, they can see me.
We stay politically correct on this channel.
He said you can see me, and then he smiled. None of that John Cena shit around here, bro. None of that.
Man, I love John Cena. I hated John Cena as a wrestler, but I love John Cena as an actor. His movies are hilarious.
I love them as a wrestler too.
I hated it. I hated the whole rap thing with him.
WrestleMania. He's on his farewell tour. His last
Who,
year,
John Cena?
he's retiring. Yeah. So
I mean, is he though?
WrestleMania. He's
Is he though? I mean, how many times did Hulk Hogan retire?
The Rock.
Yeah, how many times is The Rock retired? He ain't retiring.
He'll be back when
they retire.
When the money right.
Yeah, as soon as they blow cocaine through all their money, I mean, as soon as they blow through all their money, they'll be right back to the WWE.
I heard that.
And if anybody saw that documentary, you know what I'm talking about, man. They were doing monster piles of coke.
Oh yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, Vince McMahon makes Scarface look like a lightweight.
When coming up as a kid, bro, we like we knew it was kind of crazy, but as we get older, he was like, "Damn, bro, you was trying to do stuff with your daughter, bro."
Man, yeah. We won't even get into that. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's all that part of Vince McMahon is trash. I'm glad he's gone. What a piece of, you know what? YouTube doesn't like when we say bad words, but y'all know how we feel. Oh boy, them old Drakes, they're just unacceptable.
Them old
Drake came out with an album, yo. Drake came out with an album.
So speaking of Drake, one of the people Drake's tied to his underage last name is his last name is Bell. So I don't know if anybody noticed, one of the little Easter eggs in Kendrick Lamar's performances, he wore Drake bell bottoms. Just throwing a signal back to that story, and then on top of it was wearing a chain that was a lowercase a, otherwise known as A minor. You know, there was a lot of cool stuff, but I get why the mainstream people who don't follow hip hop didn't get it. So for me, I understood that part of it. And he has some serious microphone issues.
But nobody.
Yes, that was the drop. That was the real problem. People, a lot of it was you come across mumbling. You know,
right?
You couldn't hear it, and that's a microphone. That's a sound tech issue.
Right, and from a performance point of view, especially something at the Super Bowl where you're in a time slot, man, there ain't nothing you could do about it but keep trying to go, like make the show go on like it ain't happening.
You're missing this whole thing right here. They didn't want what he was saying to be heard.
Yeah, that's also very possible.
They didn't want what he was saying to be heard, man. They purpose.
Hey, Pop, you said it the right. Yep, that's exactly what it was. They didn't want his message to be heard. He tried though. It's there. You just gotta watch it a few times.
So I got a question for you, Debbie. What do you think of this new All-Star game format? Have you heard of the change?
Some of it.
So now it's 3 teams and then one team from the Rising Stars team. They play tournament style.
It's whack, bro.
Man, whatever happened to the days of the All-Star game and the Pro Bowl being good?
It's whack. It's because they try to implement new things to keep people.
Because it's terrible now because these players don't play.
Understand that people stop watching it when y'all start doing this.
Right. If you go back and watch the 90s or the early 2000s and you watch the Pro Bowls and the All-Star games,
watched it.
They are going head-to-head, full speed, full power, elbowing each other, talking trash, balling
the best players that the people voted.
Right.
Not who they voted. The best players who we voted. It was way different.
But you watch these previous All-Star games and Pro Bowls, it's like 2-hand touch scrimmage, no defense. Like, no, there is no fouls. It's more like you could be over there by the wall and shoot, and I won't guard you.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to pay to see that. That's not an all-star game. Whatever happened to competition?
Oh, you know what? You know what I just realized though?
What?
It's a lot of carrying in the NBA right now.
There's always been a lot of carrying in the NBA. To be fair, Allen Iverson and Kobe are two of my favorite players, and they absolutely carry the ball. If you look at the generation previous to them, but the way
Iverson dropped it.
Iverson was incredible. Iverson was so cold with his crossovers.
Yeah, but he dropped it though, so he didn't carry.
Yeah, Iverson's handles were insane. Iverson and Jason Williams are my two favorite point guards of all time.
Hey, they are nice. I promise you, they are nice. But if you watch Kyrie Irving,
Kyrie's a beast.
Okay, so who's your
practice? You talking about practice?
Come on, man.
Hey, Iverson was amazing though. If you think about it, like a lot of times his favorite weenie, LeBron, gets all this, won the championship with the worst team ever. And I'm always like, huh? Did anybody see the 76ers team with Allen Iverson? Can you name any of the other players on that team? Mutombo and Eric Snow? I mean, come on.
Hughes.
Larry Hughes. Oh man, Larry Hughes. I know a lot of friends who with Larry Hughes. Yeah. There was a player here for a while in Phoenix named Richard Dumas. He was came in like with a firestorm, super dunker, super athletic. But him and Larry Hughes, man, needs to be up at the Safeway on 19th Avenue in Union Hill. Just
I had both Dumas jerseys. I had 32 and 23. I think that's what that was, a 21 and 12. What was his number?
Yeah. Bro, Richard Dumas was going to be such a beast, and then
he was a beast.
Chose the crack rock over the basketball. That's crazy work.
Crazy.
Crack rock over the rock.
That's crazy. Like, I'm a very 420 friendly person. I love smoking weed every single day, but I would never have done what Ricky Williams did.
Oh, yeah, Ricky Williams.
I would never turn down millions on top of millions of dollars just so I could get high. I wouldn't get high. I'd be happy off money.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. Had to be.
Hey, look, I could put the weed away for a couple of years to make a few $1 million and then start smoking
the best weed for the rest of my life when I retire.
That would be the best first one ever.
But thanks to players like Calvin Johnson, though, the NFL and the NBA have relaxed their restrictions on marijuana.
But the NBA did it because of not Al Jefferson.
There was a few players involved because I know KD was involved in that too.
No, but Al Jefferson was way before KD go. But he got his own strand within the NBA.
Right. Yeah. But a lot of players were saying that, you know, the addiction medications that they were taking, the opioids and stuff for pain to be able to keep playing, were turning them into addicts and messing their careers up when they have an alternative in marijuana that they could be using, but it was unapproved by the league. So, you know, congratulations to the NFL and the NBA for finally having some freaking sense. Like, why is it okay to take these man-made chemicals that addict people, but it's not okay to smoke a plant? To give them the same alleviation.
Schedule 1 too. I think somebody needs to talk to Elon about that shit too. Can you just fix that while you're at it, bro? Can you?
I was watching that press conference the other day, like looking at little X just picking his nose and rubbing it on Elon's son, and I was thinking, part of me thinks this is cool. Like JD Vance brings his kids out a lot, Elon brings his kids out a lot, Trump brings his kids out a lot, but it's also kind of weird seeing like little kids in major political press conferences picking their boogers.
Not knowing cameras on them.
Look,
no, they do. They do know the cameras on. Little dude dominated the conversation.
The media spends hours and hours a day trying to dehumanize Trump. Trump's just playing the game, bringing the kids out, humanizing him. He's just playing the other side of the field, right? You know. Well,
and that's why I said a part of me thinks it's great. I think that being family is something that we as people need to be more focused on. Families have been so divided and disrupted, and I would love to see us get back to a country where one or both parents can have more time with their kids and not have to work 1 or 2 jobs each just to stay afloat. You know, it'd be fantastic for families to be what's important again, because that's a huge part of what's missing from our society. Our kids are horrible, man. These kids are bad out in the streets.
It's bad.
You watch these TikTok videos or Twitter videos of like things that people's kids are doing. I'm like, man, I know my kids would never, ever, ever.
What? Yes,
this generation of kids, the respect is gone. Like people hit old people. People do
cuss them out. I couldn't even cuss in front of an adult when I was coming up. I could.
People watch people get assaulted. People watch women get beat up.
That's what they do.
They pull their phones out.
Like, why aren't you helping this old man?
So I'm glad that I think there's a lot of people in a lot of the diverse communities that absolutely need recognition and need resources, but that doesn't need to be the focus of our overall government. The focus needs to be on what is best for people in general. And what's best for people is happy families, having men that act like men who know how to steward their family, teach their children, guide them, and spend time with them, and not have to spend all their time at work.
Working.
It's horrible. We need, without men. If it wasn't for great men in my life, I wouldn't be who I am. Like that. That's a great story. I could tell you guys. I used to live in I lived in a tent for a while. My family was going through some hard times in Colorado when I was little, and we lived in a campground in Colorado Springs. So I used to go up to the campground office and steal food. But the campground owner, he caught me one day, and to this day, rest in peace, that man's name is Terry. He's one of the greatest influences of my life. Everything that's good about me as a man, I probably learned from that man. But when he caught me that day, he could have been petty. He could have called the cops. He could have went and told my parents. He could have got me in trouble. He could have done whatever he wanted. But what he did was took me outside and said, this is a 14-acre campground. There's always something to do here. Don't ever steal from me again. I'm going to have you rake this pool area up for the 2 Hot Pockets you just stole. That was a life lesson.
That's rare.
And that dude became a part of my life for the rest of my life. And I think men need people like that in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Joey.
That's real. Yeah. I got stories. I don't really got no stories like that. But Pop,
Yep.
question. Do you think the NBA is headed in the right direction right now?
No, we need more. We need the big players spread out more amongst more teams.
Right.
We got to quit making it so you can buy a team, and that goes for all sports, man. It's like cap them all the same way, give them all the same amount of money to play with.
Yeah. I just said that somebody asked me about the LeBron and Luka trade, and I said honestly, it was cool when I was coming up. It was like Kevin Garnett, who was that? Paul Pierce, and
with Celtics.
Yeah,
that was a hell of a team.
Yeah, so like that was cool, but then like I feel like it's too much now. Like y'all putting every team got superstars, and nothing is happening. Like it's all offense, no defense.
Right, it's just a 3-point contest. It's just people jacking up 3 after 3 after 3 after 3 after 3.
So I asked him, how did he feel about whether did he feel that it did head in a good direction right now?
I don't think the NBA is headed in a good direction. I feel like athletics in general are not headed in a good direction because there's so much.
It's evolving. The game is evolving, but
the athletic talent has absolutely evolved. But what's missing is the heart and the desire and what's great about sports is teammates. Going out there, winning and losing with the dude that you break sweat and bones with. Mm-hmm. That desire to be passionately winning because you put in the work to get there, not because you switched to somewhere else where somebody else carried you on their back. When, like I said, the 80s, 90s, bro, Utah, Stockton and Malone. LA, Magic and Kareem. Chicago, Jordan and Pippen. The Knicks had Ewing and a crew of great players, Starks.
Every team.
Denver was good. Elijah Wan. I mean, the Rockets were good.
Even
any team that made the playoffs,
duo that they built the team around.
Right. And any team that made the playoffs had a chance to win because they were all good. They were all stacked. Now teams are like front loaded with talent with no bench and they just jack up threes. They don't run. They just don't. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Basketball's not even that fun to watch for me anymore. It used to be like my favorite sport.
These guys went back and watched Magic run the floor for the Lakers. Right. You would never watch another basketball game again when you look at the way it is now. That was exciting.
I was just having this conversation that watching Jokic play reminds me a lot of Magic because Jokic's passing and like his vision and some of the moves that he does reminds me so much of Magic, just on a taller, slightly slower version. But that's why I like watching Jokic play because that's who that reminds me of. And I grew up watching Magic. I'm from California. I grew up in the Bay Area during Run TMC when it was Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin. That was my squad. Tim Hardaway. That was my first favorite team ever as a kid. Was that Run TMC Warriors?
He was a court general. Okay, he's seen the whole court. It would go behind the back. It would go behind the head. It would no look here, there, everywhere. Boom, score. Boom, score. The assist. He was a fucking assist machine, man.
And he was just fluid. Yeah, he was just fluid and always in control. He was never like out of pace with the game.
And he was a tall point guard.
Right? That's what I thought LeBron was going to be when he came into the league. I really thought LeBron was going to be a lot like Magic.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just a stat chasing crybaby. Something Magic would never be. So
it's just that style of play. You don't see that. You don't see that style of play anymore. And that was the style of play that entertained me. The '93 Suns, the Lakers, the head-to-head that they used to go through, Barkley, and come on, man, it was fun, man.
Dude, watching Barkley and Jordan go at it, elbowing each other, just talking up and down the court. Yeah, I love those. Those are the days, bro.
Oh yeah,
those are the days.
That would never happen.
But there are some players in the league that are still like that. Like Giannis. Giannis is definitely like that. Yeah, Anthony Edwards is one of them. There's a few, but like those Kobe, Michael Jordan type killers. Reggie Miller, Reggie was one of my favorite players. That little scrawny bastard would just shoot the freaking lights out and kill you. And then when he choke slammed Kobe, I was like, oh my God, and he's mean.
Remember when Roger Bell?
That's because his sister used to beat him up. Like, oh yeah, Roger Bell was one of my favorite Suns of all time.
No, remember when he fucked up Kobe?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, anybody who was a Suns fan back then was a Roger Bell fan. Roger Bell was one of the most underrated. Roger Bell, Boris Diaw, Barbosa, those are a lot of players to me that were super underrated for that time.
Here's another one. Didn't KJ get suspended for a game in the playoffs because of a tussle? When he was kind of really the victim of the tussle, but he got suspended anyway?
Maybe. I know Nash did. I don't remember KJ. I mean, it's possible. It was so long ago.
Nash. That's who it was. Okay, I was trying
to remember. Nash, they took Nash, Stoudemire, and Diaw out for the next one. That's how they did it against San Antonio.
Took him out of the playoffs, man. You can't take a guy out of the playoffs. Look,
that was the referee Donahue that admitted that he rigged those games for the Mafia.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that.
We got screwed, and the Suns got screwed out of the championship because that year.
Man, being an Arizona fan is so hard,
dude. Just like it's just like being a Vikings fan, bro.
Always, like when we do good, it's always out of the blue. Like when the Diamondbacks won in 2001, that was out of nowhere. When they went to the World Series last year or the year before, that was out of nowhere. The Suns, they always look good on paper and never seem to freaking come through.
Good. They be fucking up at the end.
And the Cardinals probably have top 4 worst ownership in the league. So
yeah. See, you got and see, I'm the same way with the Vikings. Look, okay. JJ got fucked up. They went and picked up somebody. The Vikings have been the team of the has-been quarterback or the will-be quarterback, just not for us. Right?
If you think about it, that's been the Suns ever since KJ. It was like Marbury, Kidd, who else? It was just like Bledsoe, one after the next. Everybody was like an older, aging superstar point guard for a while.
Marvin?
Well, he wasn't a point guard.
Oh, you said point guard.
Yeah, point guards. We were just recycling like super good point guards. Like we had really good point guard play for a long time.
But and once they left, they went crazy.
That's always happens with Arizona players. They always go somewhere else and do better.
I know Joe Johnson is the perfect example.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like the Vikings. We have Brad Johnson. We traded him. He went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. We have Rich Gannon. They traded him. He went to LA and won a Super Bowl for the Raiders. It's like, quit giving away your talent.
Right. Imagine being a Giants fan, bro. The Giants let Saquon go to the Eagles, wins the Super Bowl. They let McKinney go to the Packers. He leads the league in interceptions. And then they end up losing Daniel Jones anyways, and they did that to save money for him.
Yeah.
Their fans got to be like, what in the actual is going on here? Ridiculous. Growing up in the Bay Area, bro, I had to live through a lot of the legendary Al Davis crap, and all the time I would just be like, what is wrong with this?
That's why I'm afraid. I'm afraid if they get rid of Sam, he's going to go somewhere else and get a ring.
Right.
Because that's our curse, right? If we get rid of somebody that's decent, they go and they get a ring somewhere else. That's just how it goes.
And then the middle finger to Arizona.
No, he's talking about Minnesota.
Oh.
Minnesota.
See, that's what I always think when people argue with me about Kyler Murray. I'm like, I'm always on the fence with Kyler because he doesn't do enough, but he does just enough to like string you along. But whenever they talk about him going somewhere else, I'm like, man, if he was to go somewhere else and go crazy, do you know how much that would suck?
Yeah. I'd rather he stayed here and sucked.
Hey, Pop.
It's a gamble. It's always a gamble, man.
Hey, Pop. So I spent a lot of my time in Minnesota too, because I'm from Chicago, obviously. But when I was living there, it was Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss.
Oof.
Do you think that they should have won a ring?
The
Huh?
GOAT.
Dude, look, they had
The GOAT.
Cunningham. They had Cunningham and went 15-1 and then lost in the NFC Championship. You know, it's like they've had great teams, but the Vikings still have to live with the curse of the bottle.
True, but hold on. I got to say, that was a perfect segue to say players that leave. Randy Moss left Minnesota, then went and caught like 50 touchdowns in New England.
Yeah. And it's not like he wasn't catching them in Minnesota. He just went somewhere else and did even better.
Did you see when they did the roast of Tom Brady? Randy Moss said, man, if y'all was going to do all that cheating, why didn't you do it the year I was there? I wanted one too.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was great.
He wasn't funny though.
Holy shit.
But hey, guys, we're gonna take off. We're gonna cut it short. We got
It's that
beautiful
time.
women out there just screaming for us to have their attention all over the world. So we gotta cut it short. But love you guys out there, man. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for tuning in. Check back in 2 weeks.
So,
We're gonna be putting out some funny little skits with his broken guitar.
no.
Oh, dude, come on now.
Party foul. Unacceptable.
Don't worry, guys. We don't get it.
He ain't had it 10 minutes. Already got scratches all over the back of it.
All right, you guys, Madness fam. Love you. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Run the credits and the sponsors, baby.
I'm gonna play your music, then I'll handle all the outro.
Okay, yes, play
You
some.
guys are good. Have a great night. Good to see you again, my nephew. You have a great day.
Sir.
Later on,
Appreciate it,
nigga.
guys.
We don't.
What I thought it was. Where's my stuff? Here we go.
Man, if I had $1 for every day I didn't have $1, I would be a rich man. Oh, I would win the lotto and take care of my mother and my father. If I had the wish, man, but life gets funny, it keeps me down. Got no money in my bank account. Oh, if I had $1 for every day I didn't have $1, I would be a rich man, a rich man.
Growing up was intense, my mom couldn't pay rent. We literally lived in tents, so my story I'd invent. Lying was not my intent, I just wanted to make friends. Acting a fool to be cool at every new school, cause I was embarrassed to the truth. Cause drugs not the only thing that my parents would abuse. Had to keep the bruises from being viewed, so I was careless as a youth, stealing clothes and food. Had a broken home, so I broke some rules. I choked some fools, had a drink and a smoke or two. Didn't bang, but I ran with the local crew. My gang, I trust the chosen few. My rat pack with straps in our backpack, selling fat sacks.
But every day I didn't have $1, I would be a rich man. Oh, I would win the lotto and take care of my mother and my father. If I had the wish, man, but life gets funny, it keeps me down. Got no money in my bank account. Oh, if I had $1 for every day I didn't have $1, I would be a rich man, a rich man.
My bank account's overdraft, and child support taking everything I got. I just wanna be free from my ruined past, but life really kicking my black ass. If I had $1 for every time I had to ask, I'd be a billionaire plus a little extra cash. Money is the root of all evil. What did I ask? Need mask on, put it all in the bag. Being broke so long, I ain't know how to act. Coast to first class, flat to fat ass, egg to the past.
Man, if I had $1 for every day I didn't
Welcome to Based on a True Story, Volume 6, Tales of the Underworld, where true crime collides with the furry, funny, and fierce world of the Dust Bunny Mafia. This brand new 32-page comic reimagines real mafia legends, Mad Dog Cole, John Gotti, and more, through the eyes of our animal mobsters. Think The Godfather meets Looney Tunes, packed with action, humor, and full-color storytelling.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
In the heart of a major city, in a place raised to honor Earth's past protectors, the world will again learn, sometimes, superpowered intrigue doesn't stop at the grave. Galaxy Memorial Park, Volume 1, beginning crowdfunding Memorial Day 2025.
Tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide.